Good evening, everyone. I'm Dr. Pacelli. Welcome to the grade 10 science class. A little bit about myself. I'm a doctor of chiropractic medicine. I had clinics in California for many years, multidisciplinary centers with many specialties working together to help people get better. I then moved to Cairo, Egypt. I'm actually Italian descent. My family's from Rome, but I opened up a clinic in Cairo with some orthopedic surgeons serving the foreign community there. From there, my wife and I, we have moved and lived in Colombia, Indonesia, Saudi Arabia, and now we're here in the Czech Republic at ISP, and we love it so far. This is my contact information. The best way to reach me is via email. I try and check my emails quite frequently and get back to you or your children as soon as possible, barring any extenuating circumstances. The other two teachers in the grade 10 course are Mr. Druce and Mr. Thornley, and that is their contact information for your information. The three things that we look at in the classroom and that we really want to drive home are learning, well-being, and belonging. The learning we try and make as practical as possible in this course so that your kids really see the real world applications of what they're learning. The well-being, we're still following all the COVID protocols in terms of sanitation, desk sanitation, hand sanitation. I continue to wear a mask in the classroom just as an extra layer of protection for all the children that I see throughout the day, as lots are unvaccinated. As well as belonging. This one I try to impress upon the kids from day one. The kids will often be reorganized into groups, sometimes lesson to lesson, because I always tell them in the real world, you do not get to choose who you work with. So you have to be adaptable and flexible enough to work with anyone in the classroom. And I expect them to do that every lesson. So we all get a sense of belonging and participation in the classroom, and it helps build relationships in the classroom as well. The ISP mission of Inspire, Engage, Empower is something I truly believe in. I hope to inspire your children to become curious learners. I'm a curious learner myself. I continually learn new things. I expect them to do the same. I hope to engage them enough so they become curious and start asking questions on the topics that we're discussing together in the classroom, and then further their learning and their understanding. I hope to provide your kids with the skills to become competent at what they do. Often in the classroom, I'm moving around constantly, visiting tables, chatting with children, checking their level of understanding to help them move forward with their skills and advance and progress because they need those skills as they become lifelong learners and as they progress through education and through life. They have to be competent at what they do. Finally, compassionate change makers. These two last items come from us applying what we're learning to the real world practical applications of this, so they can see how the things we're learning about impact other people, other nations, other organisms on our planet, and how that might inspire them to then make a change using their curiosity and the competency that they've learned in the classroom to make changes in the world as they proceed through life. In grade 10, we're looking at this, all the topics we're doing revolve around and will link to somehow the climate crisis. So we will study the overall climate crisis presently. Then we will look into intro to chemistry, chemical energy, energy production, and finally renewable energies. Presently, even though we are studying vectors and forces, we are now moving into work and this concept of energy and the joule. And what is that? And that will eventually link to chemical energy, energy production, renewable energies, and they will have a better understanding of these topics and how they all intermingle together. That's our goal for this grade 10 course. We'll be looking at, again, the climate crisis, but we'll also be doing some physics and chemistry, and we will be doing some mathematics. When I mentioned trigonometry the other day in class, I saw a lot of deer in headlights. but I hope to make this very, very accessible to everyone in the classroom, regardless of their mathematical abilities, and hopefully give them some confidence moving forward in the future. My goal is to have your children enjoy physics and chemistry and not be afraid of them, and be willing to take risks to learn further and make mistakes and learn from their mistakes, because that's essentially how we all learn best. If you ever have any questions about what we're doing in the classroom, you have access to this and your children have access to this every day. The easiest way to get to where we're at is today's agenda in the course that's updated every 2 days, starting with the new cycle of lessons. And we put in there exactly what we're doing in the classroom, so kids know even if they've missed, as well as links to all the relevant resources, any support resources, and any booklets or worksheets that we may be working on. So that is updated regularly. Your children will always have access to that. So even if they're away, they don't fall behind. If they do happen to be away, they can always follow up with myself or their other teachers to find out what was missing and clarify any concepts that they might not understand. Again, these are my contacts. Those are the other 2 teachers in the course, Mr. Druce and Mr. Thornley. I really look forward to getting to know your children. I really look forward to inspiring them as much as humanly possible in sometimes topics that kids find scary or inaccessible. I want to make all of this very accessible to them. And I want to gain their confidence so that they're able to ask questions and be curious and make changes, and be compassionate about what they're learning about and how to apply those things into the real world. That's my goal with the course. I hope your children are as excited as I am to go on this journey this year through grade 10 science, which will help inform them of their decisions to make in the IB in the following years. Have a good evening, and I look forward to meeting you all in person.